Top 3 reasons and leak intel show. Why Warren Buffett and BlackRock believe U.S.-China's Taiwan conflict is closer than you think. Buffett said the unusually quick sale of Taiwan semiconductor stake was driven by unavoidable U.S.-China tensions. Cash is king for now. Capital preservation first, capital growth second. Control the portfolio drawdowns, and the returns will follow. The multiplication factor of compounding returns in risk-on environments is more than sufficient on a great return once we reach stage 4. Right now we are at late stage 2. Greed is in the market. If you're extremely confident, think about taking a loss. Does it bother you? Stage 3 is real panic and extreme fear, which will come when US and China tension peaks. What's the leaked intel they don't want you to know? Why Warren Buffett and BlackRock believe US-China's Taiwan conflict is closer than you think. I will explain it all right after this.
How you like that? How you like that? Nah. Look at you, now look at me. Look at you.
Welcome back everyone to the Audacious Money Witch channel, where we talk about macroeconomy, stocks, bonds, and commodity markets. If you like any of these topics, you are intelligent. That's why you're here. And you know what to do, and push my button if you like what you see in today's video, because I can't push it from this side. This video is brought to you by my Patreon. If you're a good boy, go to patreon.com/magicalgoddesscheryl to add more meaning into your life. If you play your cards right and completely submit, like my good boys do, then I will take you under my wing. Author of best-selling books, Goddess Cheryl. My good boys always get rewarded handsomely. You are such a good boy. You like hearing that, don't you? You want to get into the bookstore. You want it to be real. You want it to be true. You want to be my client, don't you? And here is my book, Rainbow Focus. And here is my client Teddy Eazzy's book, Wicked Pussy Perfume. It is an erotic novel. Such an amazing author with such an incredible content. Order your copy today. A shout out for Teddy Eazzy, my client. Order your copies today. Now, I don't know if I said hit the like button, but I was putting my thumb up before. So that means hit the like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, Warren Buffett did something unusual last year when his conglomerate, Berkshire Hathaway, purchased a $4.1 billion stake in Taiwan Semiconductor in the third quarter of 2022. It wasn't the large purchase that was off character for Buffett, but rather the swift sale of almost 90% of the position, which occurred just a few months later in the fourth quarter. Buffett has built the bulk of his $110 billion fortune by taking an extremely long-term view on stocks and holding onto some companies for decades. So a holding period of just a few months is out of the ordinary for Buffett. Now we know why Buffett sold the stake so quickly. Top 3 geopolitical risks marked high by BlackRock. Heightened US-China tensions present significant risks for investors. Number 1, US-China strategic competition. China takes military action against Taiwan or asserts claims in the South China Sea by force. U.S. downing of a Chinese surveillance balloon highlights the increasing distrust and structural tensions between the U.S. and China. It also shows the fragility of efforts to put a floor under the relationship. As President Biden and Xi attempted at recent G20 meeting. Taiwan is a key flashpoint. Xi reaffirmed his intention to unify Taiwan with the mainland at last year's National Party Congress. U.S. Congress is likely to support closer Taiwan relations, including a possible visit by Speaker Kevin McCarthy this year, elevating tensions. BlackRock doesn't see the military action in the near term, but expects the risk to increase over time. China can take a range of steps short of military action to pressure Taiwan. Number 2, major cyber attacks. Cyber attacks cause sustained disruption to critical physical and digital infrastructure. The pace of cyber attacks are increasing as the Russia-Ukraine conflict persists. Critical government and private sector networks, as well as infrastructure, are vulnerable to hacking and spying. Attacks are increasing in scope, scale, and sophistication. The U.S. government is pushing for more protection requirements. Repeated attacks could cause significant damage and disruption that could spill over to financial markets and the economy. Number 3, worldwide technology. Decoupling technology, decoupling between the U.S. and China significantly accelerates in scale and scope. Strategic competition between the U.S. and China is driving world fragmentation as both focus on the boosting self-reliance, reducing vulnerabilities, and decoupling their tech sectors. There will be unprecedented U.S. semiconductor export restrictions against China, accelerating the decoupling. Japan and the Netherlands appear set to roll out similar measures. The U.S. is weighing additional export controls on other technologies like quantum and AI, as well as a mechanism to review investments in China. The U.S. has enacted the CHIPS and Science Act aimed at boosting competitiveness in critical technologies. Technology was a focus of China's 20th Party Congress, highlighting the drive for self-sufficiency. The People's Liberation Army of China has concluded 2 of the 3 essential elements of China's plan to take Taiwan by force. Number 1, U.S.-China strategic competition. Number 2, major cyber attacks. Number 3, worldwide technology decoupling. Here is the leaked intel. Well-funded Chinese nationals are illegally entering the United States of America via the Texas border this year. They are flying primarily into Caracas, Venezuela, and El Salvador, which China's PLA military and their military police have a 225 hectare outpost at the port of La Union, and making the trek through Panama's Darien Gap all the way to the Texas border. The numbers we are currently experiencing have gone parabolic in 2023. We Texas DPS are now apprehending as many as 530 Chinese nationals, almost entirely military-age males, MAMS, each week. Over 2,000 per month at today's catch rates. These are the illegal entries we catch. Clearly, there are many more. They are well coached and immediately ask for the asylum. Our process, no interviews and no national security checks. And released into America. In fact, China is setting underground national police stations in cities around the United States. To leave China, they need exit visas. So why aren't they flying directly into the US via our airports? Their desire is to be inside the US under fake names via a driver's license scam operation being investigated by federal and state law enforcement. Given China's partnership with Putin's Russia and their unavoidable invasion of Taiwan, allowing illegal entry to thousands of Chinese ma'ams is a serious violation of U.S. national security. Chinese are not going to do mega QE pump now. They are telling the world that the invisible hand is there. The West is not so lucky. These massive QE money printing plus zero interest rate mistakes will cost the West decades of growth and will be written in history books as one of the biggest central bank policy mistakes of our time. Also, remember that China has been stockpiling its SPR even as we have drained ours, which also adds to future supply elasticity and will likely prevent flyaway prices even in US-China emergency. Now that oil price is higher, the inflation expectations are higher. So the Fed has to hike even further to combat OPEC+. However, Bullard don't see a recession coming. If 2 U.S. bank failures last month were going to spark a crisis, Bullard said it'd likely be showing up in things like the St. Louis Fed's Financial Stress Index. The index did spike after the March 10th collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, but it quickly reverted to a normal reading. If you are really going to get a major financial crisis out of this, that index would spike up to a 4 or 5. It's 0 now, so it doesn't look as of this moment like too much is happening. While agreeing that the tightening cycle may be close to the finish line, Bullard feels the policy rate will need to rise another 0.5 percentage point beyond that level to between 5.50% and 5.75%. Some policymakers and analysts worry it is those final steps that could push the economy into a recession. Keep in mind the Fed officials are getting paid to say whatever they're saying to you. The things you never want to hear the Fed talk about is mild recession. Bernanke said that U.S. might face a mild recession, and that was in April 10th of 2008. The Great Recession happened later in September. Hit the red button. I know you want to. You know you want to. You are such a good boy for watching my video right till the end. Bye.